So, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this interaction with Associated Alcohol Management. We are very happy to have you here. Um, the format is very simple. I'll just, describe the business in 4 5 slides so that it sets the context for everyone. Those who are, looking at the company uh, afresh also, they get an update. And then I'll start the discussion with the management. Feel free to ask your questions in the chat bot. I'll take them as and when it is relevant, and I might club here and there, but be rest assured that we will take all your questions. So you can feel free to ask whatever you want to ask. Priya, can you just share the screen? Next slide. So we have with us Mr. Tushar Bhandari. He is a whole-time director, and he has more than 16 years of experience, of which 12 years in the liquor industry. And he contributes significantly to the brand development and operations management. Um, we also have Mr. Ankit Agarwal. Ankit, congratulations on recent promotion to Group CFO. So
Thank you. Thank
Ankit
you.
has 14 years of experience, and he recently, was promoted to Group CFO from the company CFO position. So thank you, Ankit, for joining.
Thank you.
Associated Alcohol, is a leading player in alcohol, as the name says, in the alcohol space. And if you look at the last 10-year journey, it's done phenomenally well. Its profits have grown 24%, and its balance sheet is really strong. ROE is a little bit subdued last year, but that was because of capex they were doing into ethanol plant, and plus the margins were under a little bit of pressure because of raw material price inflation. The company has 45 million liters per annum of ENA capacity, and they have 32 bottling lines. Plus, they've recently added ethanol segment, so around 40 million liters per annum of capacity, in ethanol. Yeah, next. So this is the fully integrated business model that AABL has. So they are flexible in their raw material sourcing. Whatever they want, they can choose between rice, maize, jawar, and others out there. ENA capacity I mentioned, 45 million liters per annum. Ethanol 40. They are integrated into various categories. So they have their proprietary IMFL, which is the Indian made foreign liquor. They are also franchisee producers for Diageo and Enbrew, which are the large multinationals. Plus, they have some, Indian-made Indian liquor, and then they do contract manufacturing also for Diageo. Next slide. Now, so this is the good part that they are present across the value chain, and Mosme is saying that cannot hear, but can everybody else hear? Tusharji, are you able to hear?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Yes,
So,
we can.
Mosme, it's the problem at your end. Maybe you want to tune up your volume. So the margins are higher when you move up the. Not to say that ENA and ethanol are not important, because they give them scale, and it gives them a lot of operational efficiencies. So that is important also. So this has been trend for the value-added products. So IMFL proprietary revenue has increased 21%, and mirroring the volume cases that they've been doing. Similarly, they've grown really well for licensed, product. And IMIL is not a focus area, but it's still growing a little bit. So good to know that. So these are their own brands, in which the super premium brands are Nicobar Gin and Hillfort, malt whiskey. Nicobar just recently got awarded also at, in California. So it's a very highly, recommended and upcoming brand. So they have, brands in popular and prestige categories also. These are the licensed brands for Diageo and Inbrew. Meaning some of you might be able to recognize very popular brands over here. This is the contract manufacturing which they are doing for Diageo, and so what you can see is that they are uh, you know doing contract manufacturing some of the best brands in the country. So this is a little bit about the journey. They recently launched Nicobar Gin last year in Q3. Q1 they launched Hillfort whiskey, and they have a pipeline ready for future um, uh, premium brand launches through the quarters. And the last slide I want to leave you with is that currently they are focused into Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Kerala, Delhi, West Bengal. So a large part of the India is still waiting to be captured by the Nicobar Gin. So with this, I think I'll stop the presentation here, and we'll start our discussion with the management. So, Ankit, can you take us through the journey of Associated Alcohol and how you have, when did it start? What is the story? How did you reach to the level where you reached? So, if you can just give a brief about the history.
Tushaji, would you like to take this up?
Yeah, so Associated has been into the alcohol industry since last 4 decades and has been the pioneers in supplying quality liquor to the other players manufacturing over the years. And over last 5 to 7 years, the company has moved from a pure product or pure commodity-based company to a completely premium brand and a premium portfolio company. In last couple of years, our portfolio of our own brands have increased substantially over the years, and that's been the focus of the company to increase the value-added product that is its own brand across the country. And in last year and this year, the company has moved after the successful launch of its popular brand. The company has moved towards the premiumization segment, as we see that there is a huge potential in the premium segment, which is there, as the disposable income is increasing and people are ready to pay for the premium and a quality product. So, as Associated was always into manufacturing for premium and quality product for other companies, so we launched our own brands over the years, and we make sure that we don't compromise on quality and provide best value for money to the customers. That's what we are striving for, and that's what we are looking at. So recently, we have launched a premium handcrafted gin, which has received a great response, and obviously has been awarded in San Francisco Award also. And last month, in the first quarter itself, we have launched a premium handcrafted gin. So now the company is moving towards complete premium portfolio and to expand into other states. And then in the pipeline, we have that in next quarter, we are planning to launch an RTD. Then we are planning to launch a tequila. And then the company is also looking at an option of manufacturing a single malt. So that's what the company is looking at, and aggressively working on expansion to other states, which we are doing. So that's just a brief about what the company is doing over the years and what the company is looking at coming forward.
So Tusharji, just taking a step back, and let's talk about the capacities. Meaning we have large capacity of ENA, which is 40 million liters per annum.
45, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, 45. And I see that we have approvals for even larger capacity. So what's the plan here, and what is our competitive edge in terms of doing this ENA? How are we different from our peers?
So basically, the company is looking at whatever the additional capacity of ENA which we have right now, which we are selling. The company is looking at utilizing that additional capacity for manufacturing its own value-added products. And as you rightly said, that the company has got an excessive license capacity, because taking or increasing a license capacity is a lengthy procedure. So we have already taken that, and we've already taken few approvals. So now we are in the process of taking further approvals, that in case the requirement of ENA is there in future, we can look into expansion immediately. That's what we are planning at.
Okay, so the one USP is that we have approvals in place, we have land in place, we can expand pretty quickly.
Yes, and And plus, apart from that, the biggest advantage to us is that we are centrally located. So we are equidistant from across the country. And the advantage to us is that the major consumption happens in south and the major producing factories are in the north. So we have a price advantage in terms of transport also to the northern companies. So that helps us in our ENA sale also, and that helps us in selling our product across India also.
Okay, got it. And how does this addition of ethanol capacity really helps in the whole scheme of things? Is it a distraction or does it add to the value?
See, definitely it adds anything addition adds to the value to it. But the company has purely been focused on value-added products and sale of its own products. So this is just an extension which the company has got, in which our capacity is fully utilized. We have got advance orders from the government OEMs, and definitely it gives us the economies of scale in an overall perspective. If we look as at the same location, we are able to almost double our capacity, including the ethanol capacity. So it gives us economies of scale. With the same amount of stuff, we are able to manufacture the higher amount of quantity.
So, is it right to understand that we have enough ENA capacity right now? And we have plans to expand, probably say in UP is one of the things you guys have mentioned. So what are
Yes.
the plans for expanding the capacity? Meaning what is the capacity utilization currently for ENA?
So currently, you see, internal capacity utilization is almost 80%, and 20% ENA we are selling outside.
Okay.
And with the launch of new product portfolio, we presume that in coming years we will completely utilize the ENA which we are manufacturing for our own products. And once that happens, or once we see that happening, we have already taken the permissions in place for expansion of the ENA capacity also.
At the same place, or meaning we will go to UP as you have
We are
mentioned?
definitely looking UP as a market because it's got huge potential, and it is one of the biggest market in the country, and people there also are looking for premium products. So there's got a huge potential, and definitely we have to diversify from the central part of India, from Madhya Pradesh. So we are looking UP as a market. Plus, the advantage to us is that as we are centrally located, so we can supply anywhere our product from here also.
Understood. Now, coming to the next aspect, about the raw material availability, you did mention that we are central, so we are able to attract, material from a lot of places. But grain prices volatility has impacted our margins in the past. So, how is the situation now, and are there any steps you have taken to reduce the volatility or?
So as you rightly said that we have got a location advantage. So with that, what happens is that we have got a multiple grain feed plant. So we can get any kind of grain which will help us in manufacturing our ENA, which has got starch. So we use corn, we use sorghum, we use rice. Unlike few states which are predominantly on a rice base or on a corn base. But we are centrally located and we have got 4 bordering states. So
Mhm.
wherein we can get the raw material that helps us to a greater extent. Plus, yes, definitely, as a lot of ethanol plants have come up, the price of grain has gone up substantially. But the company is making aggressive steps by directly buying through the mandis and
Mhm.
making aggressive calls. And definitely, when the price of the grain is low, company is looking at buying, because the advantage to us as vis-a-vis the other companies is that we are debt free company, and we have got cash surplus on our books. So what we can do is we can take the surplus and take the opportunity in the market, because whenever the crop comes in, the price of the crop is usually low at that point of time. So we
Okay.
can stock ourselves at a right price. So that's how we increase the efficient buying of our crop. And
Mhm.
we go further ahead, as I said, that we are directly buying from mandis. Now we are looking at directly buying it from the farmers. So by removing the middleman and the middleman's margin, we are able to efficiently buy.
Okay.
Sorry.
And what about the bottling lines? We have those 32 bottling lines. How much is the capacity currently and what is used? Are we adding more capacities on bottling?
So right now we can manufacture in the month we can manufacture total overall around 1 million cases a month. Plus, what we've done is that now recently we've added few more lines and made one of the dedicated bottling hall to Diageo. It will be by far one of the finest bottling halls in the country. It's the state of art bottling hall with all the modern equipments, all the modern machinery, and minimum labor. Because in future, we presume that our company has always been looking forward and future and preparing ourselves as per what is future going to play in. So in future, we presume that there will be a huge shortage of labor in the coming times. So just to overcome that, we have set up a complete modern bottling line, which will be completely automized. And I think it will be by far one of the best bottling halls in the country, which we boast for. That we have already set up because looking at the increase in demand of our products and plus looking in the increase in demand for Diageo. So for Diageo also our location is convenient because Diageo is also looking at maintaining long-term partners, and
Okay.
we being centrally located, they can supply across all the states from our location. So their demand is also increasing. So looking into these factors, we have set up a new state-of-art bottling hall recently.
Got it. And one last question before we move on. Meaning, so ethanol plant is now fully stabilized. So
Yes.
what kind of revenue and margins can we expect from ethanol plant?
So I'll take up
Ankit,
this. Yeah. So see, overall, ethanol plant should give us around a 300 crores of top line in a year, which should contribute for the FY24 should be around 25% the quarter one which we have. But the current, the margin is on a lower side looking at the raw material prices, which is at the peak right now. But if the prices are normalized, we are expect to deliver a healthy bit of around 7 to 8% in ethanol. Right now, which is on
EBITDA
lower
margin, Ankit? You mean
7 to 8%, 7 to 8%
EBITDA margin?
EBITDA margin, yes.
Okay, got it. Okay. So now moving on, to a little bit more stuff on R&D, meaning how do we really develop all these good quality products? What is the process we follow? How long does it take? What kind of marketing is required to make sure that these products succeed?
So basically, see, looking into this, definitely developing a brand is one of the biggest tasks. It's easier said than done to develop a brand, and especially in an alcohol industry, wherein every state has got its own economies and every state has got its own preferences. So for this, what we have done is that we have taken one of very senior person on board, Mr. D Das. So he's a board of directors. So he's been with USL for almost 35 years, and he's got a vast experience and connection across the country. So he's been guiding us and he's been telling us. And then apart from that, we've got a team which does research of different and various states and which states to enter, which depending on the payment cycle, and there are other multiple factors depending on the duty which is paid or not. So depending on multiple factors, we decide that. And of late, to look into different states and expansion of our product portfolio across the country, of late we have taken on board one of our very senior salesperson who will be taking care of all India sales. He's spent his entire life, Mr. Esa Dubey, spent his entire life with the world top two companies, which is Pernod and Diageo. So it's a combination of across, and plus apart from that, the advantage to us is as a company is that we have got three generations in the business which is running right now. One is Mr. Anand Kedia, who's got and Prasanth Kedia, who's got a healthy experience of over the years in the industry. And then there's a mid generation, and then the young generation, Anshuman, who's come up and he's advising us, or he's depending on his preferences, what's happening around the world. So looking into all these factors, we do extensive brainstorming and develop these.
Okay. And so how is the testing done? And, before we invest too much into that brand, how do we make sure that, it is going to be well accepted? And what is our success ratios?
So basically, what we do is, see, the thing is that, as I told you initially, that over the years we have never compromised on the quality, and depending on the quality is everything. The base ENA. So over the years, over last 4 decades, we've been known in the country for the ENA, which is the base of making alcohol. So we are sure of that. Plus, apart from that, we do R&D, we do market surveys, we do blind testing. Like for Hillfort, which before we launched, we did almost blind testing amongst 2,000 people.
Hmm. Okay. So now coming to, Tushar, we can't hear you.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
And
Hello?
yeah, now we can hear you. Yes, please go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah. So depending on the entire market survey and market research, we launch a brand.
Mm-hmm. Got it. So, Tushar, coming to next, obviously this is a distribution, game, and we are looking to expand to various states. How difficult is to, enter a new state, and, in our presentation we have mentioned about how fast we were able to, increase our market share in Kerala, where we launched recently. So, can you give us an idea, how many states we are looking to enter, and what kind of trajectory should we expect for our, products?
So, see, as now we have a complete portfolio on ourselves, which includes rum, whiskey, vodka, gin, and including in the medium popular category and premium category. So, it makes sense now to aggressively move ahead and to enter into new and the larger states. So, this year we have planned to enter Maharashtra, Goa, uh, Karnataka, West Bengal, Pondicherry, and Mahe. So these are the states which we are aggressively looking at entering.
Okay. And the recently launched whiskey brand that we have done, which all states have we launched, and how's the response till now?
So see, right now we have launched only in Madhya Pradesh, as the
Okay.
registration process takes time, and within I think within a month or two, it'll be available in the major state which is Maharashtra and New Delhi and Chhattisgarh.
Hmm. Okay. One of the questions which is coming up is, like Shivam has been asking about packaging. Well, his opinion is that our packaging is not like up to the mark as compared to some of the premium brands which are there. What
Okay.
is our opinion on that? Meaning, do we feel are we doing anything to improve our packaging a bit more?
Yeah, I would like to thank Shubham first of all for giving the feedback on the packaging. But definitely, whichever feedback is there, we will try and improve on that. But as per the market survey, what feedback we've received is the packaging is as per the price range which we have launched into a slightly higher as compared to that price range. So how we try to capture the market share is we try to give to the customers value for money. So at the price point which it already is, we try to launch the product at a higher price category.
Okay. Mhm.
So I'll just yeah, Tusharji join again.
Yeah. So, and apart from that, the packaging, what we are doing is designing is from one of the top designers who's been doing all the top leading alcobev packaging in the country. So we've consulted him and he's been helping us on packaging front.
Mhm. Okay, got it. One of the questions which Krishna is asking, he is saying that there was some plans to merge the beer business, but it didn't go through. So, any specific reason? Have we have a different thought process now?
So I'll just take it up this. So see, the management were having the plans to merge both the business, but due to inevitable delay from the approval from the SEBI, and so everything has a timeline to complete. That got delayed to a certain extent, and post that the business has taken a lot of changes over the period. So then the management is of the opinion that both the companies are doing phenomenally well in their own space. So right now we don't want to, go ahead with that merger, and hence we have dropped that merger plan last year. And as of now, there's no further merger card, in place. So we management is not thinking to take that project again. So right now we are concentrating management and concentrating both the business separately.
Got it. Ankit, sir, while we have you on the line, can you just elaborate on our, balance sheet? What is our debt position? We just raised some preferential capital, and what are the capex plans? So, if you can just elaborate on, our cash position and all that.
Yeah. So see, we have a very small debt, which is drawdown after currently it is standing at around 65 crores. So this is mainly for the ethanol plant. And since there was a subvention scheme from the government, we have taken the debt. So net debt cost will be somewhere around 4% to 4.5%. So we thought there's a good arbitrage opportunity to use that. So that's why we have taken up the debt. So our whole philosophy is to always be low on debt and multiply with our own money. Now, looking at the projects which we have in our hand, like UP plants, bottling cum distillery plant, and the malt plant, which is coming up of the current facility. So we thought, to raise some debt, raise some money from the promoter in the form of preferential issue. This money will be mainly used for the malt plant, and the first preferential will be for the new distillery and cum bottling plant, which we have plans in UP. So these money will go over there. So we have a plan to almost around 100 crores of capex for next 3 years. If we divide it over the period of 3 years, so 100 crores of capex should add up in every 3 years to build up our manufacturing capabilities.
Got it. So we are comfortably placed, and with all this fundraise.
Yes, we have. Yeah. So plus this will also, so we will also generate substantial amount of cash flow internally as well. So all those money will easily help us to, meet our requirement of the cash.
Got
And
it.
we don't intend to raise any debt further.
Got it. So Imran has one question, though we did try to answer it, but he wants to understand the ENA business slightly better. And he is asking what are the raw materials used and how are the prices behaving now? And is there any shortages of raw material at the moment? Tusharji did answer, but Ankit, can you make an attempt to answer again, probably?
Yeah, so I'll just add to what Tushaji said earlier. So ENA, our plant is multi-feed plant. We can use any crop which is there, which has a starch content and which can be converted into ENA. So right now we are using maize, rice. Depends on the availability and depends on the price. Right now, even though the price at a very top, it's a very peak level, we expect to further cool down over the period since the new crop will come up. Since we are centrally located, we are not facing any raw material issue as such. Even though there are some rumors around the country there's an issue with the crop, but as far as ours is concerned, we are sufficiently stocked and we have sufficient stock available to run our distillery and ethanol both.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you. Shivam has one more question. He's saying that why Lemont White Brandy is not visible in our product section on website. He says that are we selling 1.2 lakh cases per month in Kerala? We are the fifth largest player. So is that the case?
Yes, so in Kerala we performed really well, and we are selling around 1.2 lakh cases per month, and we are now the fifth largest player in Kerala. So Kerala has been a success story. Luckily, we've got a very good team who's working on it. And as per this question about the Lemon White brand not being on the website, definitely there must be some miss. So we'll just look it and add to it.
Okay.
I'll just add up to what Tushadi said. We're also working on a revamp of the website, which should come up in next 1 month or so. So post that all our brands, all our strategy, overall basis, we'll just try to showcase over there.
Excellent. Ankur has, one interesting question. He's saying from industry perspective, which states are facing raw material shortages for ENA? Like we are centrally located, but are there any particular states which where ENA shortages would be there?
So there would not be any particular ENA grain shortage because everybody will try and get grain as much as it can from the locations which are getting. But generally on the northern side where it's predominantly they're using rice as a feed. So that way there's a problem because they've got only one crop, which is rice. So that is the issue.
Okay. Shivam has a question on cash flow from operations to EBITDA conversion. He's saying that's only 50% last 3 years, whereas in longer term we were doing better. So what has actually changed in the last 3 years that cash flow conversion is slightly low?
See, if you have to look at over the period of last 3 years, the prices have shot up like the prices are at a sky. So our margins have dipped. So earlier 3 years back, our margin were EBITDA. If you talk about it was on a higher double digit trajectory. So once we reach that level again, which we target to through increase of our IMFL business and increase launch of more premium brand. So we expect to reach to that level in a span of 1 to 2 years. So once we reach there, the conversion ratio will also increase. Further, we also expect to prices to get cooled down and further our operational efficiency, which we are working on the plant. So all these factors will help us to reach to that EBITDA and the margin levels. Once we reach there, the conversion ratio will automatically improve.
So, Ankit, is it also possible that we might have accumulated some inventory for ethanol plant when we are starting it, or inventory generally has gone up because of higher costs?
Yeah, so major increase in inventory is because of higher inventory costs. Whether talk about packing material, you talk about raw material, everything has gone up. Our inventory level is almost same except for the additional inventory which we require for the ethanol. So over there, we have added around 220 crores of overall inventory level. Apart from that, it's at a normal level.
Hmm. An extension to that, as Rishi is asking, what is the cost of the glass bottle we use, and do we recycle these bottles, or it's like gone forever once we use it?
No, so
So
we
in
we
product,
use
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we use both bottles. So we use market bottle and the new fresh bottle as well. It's based on the availability. We try to recycle as much as we can. So normally, it takes 3 cycles for us bottle which we can use in normal trend which we have saw. So and glass bottles rate are now it has stagnant for last 1 or 2 quarters. Now the increase has stopped, but they have not come down significantly which they were earlier.
Got it. And Krishna is, asking again about the new whiskey brand. We did mention that we are launched in only one state, Madhya Pradesh, at the moment. So, what is our strategy? Meaning, when are we likely to launch it in other states, etc.?
So within this month, as I said, that we will be available in Maharashtra and Delhi, and in UP we'll be available in next month, and in Chhattisgarh we'll be available. It'll take some time. In West Bengal, it'll take 1 or 2 months. So registration process has already started across the country. As being an excisable commodity, so the initial registration process takes time. So I think by within next 6 months, we should be available in majority of the states.
Excellent. Mohit is asking that, our margins got impacted because of raw material issue. Are we in line to capture 15-16% EBITDA margin again? When do we expect to come back to that kind of margin?
So see, we are working towards our own entire strategy and target is over that only. So that's why we are increasing the contribution of our value-added products, which is IMFL in the entire portfolio, and we expect to reach that margin in a span of next 2 years. So by March 27, I guess we should be able to deliver those sort of margin again.
Okay. And Shivam is still not convinced on our R&D capability. He's saying, how will we move up the premiumization? New product innovation. How will we differentiate ourselves as compared to others? So, Tusharji, can you give us a little bit more broad answer to it?
Okay, so I'll reiterate the same thing. So whichever brand of ours, if you look at, okay, first and foremost, be assured that the quality has to be top notch, or the quality has to be a notch above category which we have launched in. So we have launched, for example, we've launched our gin in the category of say around Tranquery or Tranquery gin, but the quality is slightly better on that. The packaging, what we've done, we've given outer carton. They don't serve an outer carton. We've given outer carton with a gift box facility, which nobody else is doing, because you have to definitely differentiate with so many options available to the consumer. You have to first differentiate yourself, and with the help of differentiation, you have to make sure that the customer tries your product. And once the customer tries your product, then your quality plays into place. So we are one of the few people in the country who are making gin from triple distill. Only 1 or 2 people are making that. We are the only people in the person in the country who are using 4 types of junipers in the gin, which nobody else is doing it. So we definitely concentrate on the quality, and the gin also which we've got made is made by one of the top distillers in the country. The Hillfort whiskey, also the blend which we have got it developed, is one of the top blenders in the country who we've taken on board, and he is guiding us on that. And when it comes to packaging also, if I see you, it depends on what you're comparing with. So if I compare it with the competition where I've priced into it, definitely we are on the premium front on our as per our competition is there. But definitely we will take the feedback and we'll try our best to improve wherever we can.
Krishna has a follow-up question. He's saying, what is the realization, per case for this Hillford brand that we have launched in comparison to the MRP that would be prevalent in that state? So, Ankit, can you take that question?
So see, the price point for the Hillfort. So we have, as we mentioned, we have recently launched only in MP right now, but we have plans to take up to the other states. So if I take a per case MRP, it should be around 1300 to 1400 in MP, which is in line with the other competitors which are serving in this category.
Okay. And Shivam is already planning to go and drink. It's still not weekend, but he's saying where can he go in Delhi to experience our products?
So see, our products, as we talk about, so CP entire range is available in Delhi. Hillfort we have recently launched. This will be available, like Tushaji said, in a month's time in Delhi, and so that you can taste. Otherwise, you can come down to MP and we will, offer you the entire range of products which we have. So
Okay.
gin and the CP is available in Delhi, which is already registered and which is already working over there. And Hillfort will, in a month's time, will also be available in Delhi.
Okay. Uh, Pulkit, there's a question on the financial reserves in the company. He's saying it is increased by almost 400 crore. It's approximately 400 crore, he's saying. Uh,
Mhm.
is it a right number? He's saying it is a liquid or fixed asset. I think he's talking about the fixed assets.
Fixed assets, addition would be mainly because of ethanol plant last year.
Yeah,
That was majorly into CWIP that is converted into fixed assets. Right now, whatever is, as on March balance sheet, whatever is pending, it is mainly related to our bottling section, which will be capitalizing in the current quarter.
got it. So maybe he's referring to the fixed assets. What is the cash on books, Ankit ji, right now?
So see, we have around, if we take the entire thing what we have raised from the preferential first round and whatever the accruals. So currently we will be somewhere around 50 to 60 crores of cash in our books.
Okay. So I hope, I think Pulkit got the answer. Now, Rohit is saying, okay, how much flexibility do we have, in terms of pricing our end product? Um, you know, uh, do they get revised annually? How does the pricing work? Because there's so much of regulation around pricing.
So,
So, can you just explain how does this all
so
work?
pricing. So see what happens in pricing. Every state has got its different role, and every state has got its own policies. So wherever we can take a price hike, we try our best to take a price hike. And where we are not able to take, or otherwise, what we do is we try to increase our efficiencies, and we try to increase our margin on that front. And also we try to innovate in the packaging. Like for example, we are right now also considering launching few of the products in PET, because PET is slightly reasonable than the glass bottle. The popular brand category, we can do that. So that's how we try to increase our margin. I agree that it's difficult to get the price hike, but most of the states we are able to get the price hike. It happens annually. Annually, you have to quote your price, and then as per the government's approval, we get the price hike.
Tushalji, only I think yesterday there was news flow that Andhra is saying rupees 99 for all kind of liquor available. Andhra or
Yes,
Telangana, I read somewhere. So Telangana, right?
Telangana.
Telangana. So
Telangana,
how
yes.
does that
Yes.
impact? Meaning, what is this new, googly which the state government has put on the
No,
industry?
that is basically the mask that Iraq which they were selling. So that is for those kind of product which government is saying. But now a lot of government are contemplating, like Andhra is also opened up for, like Andhra was limited for other players. So now Andhra is open up for other players also to come and enter. So it was difficult. So now most of the states are looking at opening boundaries for other people and making it more conducive. So now, see, the most difficult part, everybody will agree in our industry, is the regulatory authorities. It's very difficult to deal with the regulatory authorities. But now the things have changed over the past and over so many years, because excise and VAT being the only revenue to the government. So at least government hear us. Okay, before making a policy, government will call the manufacturers and discuss that if you have any suggestions to put on both. So that's what we are seeing. That's what we can say is a positive move for the entire industry, that government is actually hearing and taking feedback from manufacturers who are actually on the ground. So obviously this will take time to improve to a greater extent, but definitely we can see it being in a positive direction.
Got it. Imran is asking that, recently there was this news flow that, government allowed FSCI rice to be sold to ethanol. Will it
Yes.
cool off the raw material market? Is there an impact you're seeing already?
Not really. It will it will definitely cool off the raw material market. So FCI rice, but the FCI rice is priced for us. It's not viable because it's priced at a higher price. So people who do not have any choice than to manufacture from rice and who's got rice FCI go down closer to the factory, it makes more sense for them to buy the rice. But definitely now we'll see the corn crop coming up in the month of October. So there should be some cool off. As I earlier said, there should be some cool off in the raw material prices. And as we are rich on cash and we have very low debt on our books, so we can take the advantage of this availability of the rice and buy the rice and maize whenever the crop comes out at a right price and store it.
Okay. Ankit, do you remember what is the current price of this rice? Imran thinks it's around 28 rupees per kg.
Yes, yes. So rice currently is at 28 and maize will be somewhere around 26.
Okay, got it. Uh, Nitin has a question on the margins between proprietary product, licensed product, and contract manufacturing. What is the difference in EBITDA margin for these categories?
So see, IMFL proprietary with the current launches of the new premium category like Hillford Widowed. So currently we are around 15 to 18%. IMFL license will be somewhere around 12 to 15%. And contract manufacturing, we just get the job work charges. So there's no specific margin. So whatever we bill at, that is the margin for us, except for the contract uh, cost which we pay to the bottlers, the contract bottlers.
So, do we reveal what kind of per kiloliter or per liter what margin we make on contract manufacturing, or we haven't revealed
So
that?
contract manufacturing margin I cannot tell you, but realization front we get around 60 rupees per case is as a conversion cost.
So 60 rupees per case we get. Oh,
Yes.
got it. Shivam is, asking about the care rating report which came out in October 23 and January 24, where they said that we are not cooperating with them and, about the merger. So, what is the background to this whole
So
thing?
see, what we have done is so it's a very normal process when you switch the rating agency. So what we have done, we have moved from Care to Crisil. So we have asked Care to discontinue the rating. So till the time it get discontinued, they put it as a non-cooperative mode. So Crisil currently we are properly rated. So current report of Crisil is available for the company. You can check in the Crisil website. Care we have stopped taking the reports.
Okay, got it. So, Tusharji, now the big question, what is the 3-year outlook? Meaning, Ankit did mention about beta margin improving back to that middle of teens. So, where should we expect the company to reach in terms of revenue, etc.? If you can give some guidance.
See, now the company is at its state where the company can look into expanding its product portfolio into different regions and expanding its EBITDA margins, because now the company has full-fledgedly the entire portfolio of popular brands and the premium brands. So as the company keeps on growing to different states, definitely the volumes and top line would definitely increase to a substantial extent. And as we increase the sale of our premium products, the margins will increase. And we've been focused since last 3 4 years to increase the sale of our own product. And once this happens, then we will be more of a D2C company. We will have own brands. So over next 5 years, we want to be present and doing a very good business and being amongst top four in at least 10 to 15 states. That's what our target is. And in next coming 4 to 5 years, we should have at least one product which will be a hit product across the country. So that's what we are targeting at. And obviously we are looking ahead of the curve, because nowadays the product choices, consumer choices are moving very quick. So looking into those scenarios, looking in the cues from the foreign market, we are moving ahead. Like we are planning to launch a tequila, because in foreign tequila is becoming a next big thing. So we are already in process to working towards it. So we are also keeping our eyes and ears open. That's what the company is focusing on, purely on sales and increasing the margin of the entire company.
Got it. Shivam has a very technical question. He's saying, do we have SAP or image recognition capability? to figure out the share of bottles on shelves that we have, or some sales forecaster tools that we use. Um,
So we definitely use sales forecast tools, and we are also evolving on using the tools which is used for sales. So presently, we've launched one tool in which we can track and trace each and every shop, each and every salesperson across the India as we are growing. So we need to know that if the person who's handling West is doing the right job, he's doing the right visits, he's reporting the right figures. So in that also we've attached figures that in that also we've attached a feature that one has to visit a shop, click the shelf space photograph, and upload it. And then once all the data is accumulated, then we see the entire report. So we are obviously evolving on that front, and we are improving on day-to-day basis on using technology in our business. Because definitely in technology now, technology in any business is one of the biggest thing, and that will also increase the company to grow at a faster pace. So we are aggressively using that. Whatever next new technology is there, we'll be open to use it, and we are on looking to it towards it.
mhm. So Shiva is again asking image recognition capability for shelves. So we're already using that, right? So we are taking
So
pictures
it's
and
not, yeah. So
uploading.
it's not exactly image recognition. So a salesperson's SOP also has the width of distribution and the display. So shop display space, because that is very important. If the customer would not be able to see the product, he will not buy the product. So that is also one of the criteria role of our salesperson.
Okay. So maybe when you are already there one step, maybe the next
Yeah,
step could be image recognition to just count the bottles and all that.
definitely, definitely.
So I'll just add up to what Tusharji said. So we are also investing, heavily on the building our tech, IT and the all the right sort of softwares within the company, whether it is sales, whether it is other manufacturing facility, to get the operational efficiencies and all. So we are doing that.
Very good.
We are ahead of the curve. So we were the first ones, I think 10 years back, to implement SAP in the alcohol industry. We were the first company to implement it end to end, and definitely that has given a positive returns. So we are obviously trying to see whatever is future and trying to implement at the earliest.
Mhm. Ankit ji, you did refer to all the capex plans for next 3 to 5 years, but Dilip is again asking that question. Maybe can you clarify it again?
Yeah, so see, we have pipeline for UP bottling cum distillery projects. Then we have malt plants. Then we have the storage facility which we are building up over there. And then we are also looking for maturation in the malt plant. So looking into all those things, on an average, the average capex for next 3 years should be 100 crores every year on year basis,
Mhm.
if you
Okay.
take all these into account.
Okay. So I think before we, Acha, there's Nishant has some questions. What is the revenue mix target going ahead, and domestic versus export mix? So are we looking to export something?
So we are already exporting to African countries, and we are aggressively. So as I said, now we have got a complete portfolio. So we'll aggressively looking at partners in US and European and Gulf market. And next year onwards, we'll start taking part in the trade shows and look at export as one of the biggest business. We are exporting decent amount of quantity to the African markets right now.
Tushaji, is export much more remunerative because there would be no price caps and all those things?
So it is not exactly more remunerative. See, the thing is that in any industry, every industry has become competitive at this point of time. And when you are launching in product, you have to be competitive once it becomes a brand. So it's competitive, but definitely if you've got quality, it recognizes quality in the export business that is there, and it's much a cleaner business that you get advance money the moment the truck leaves your premises. Your money is there, so it's a much cleaner and a much healthier business. You don't require too much approvals, so it's much cleaner and healthier business that way. But definitely the volumes are there in Indian market only.
Okay. And Tushaji, this recent award that we got for Nicobar Gin, what
Yes.
was it, and what is the significance?
So basically, it was a San Francisco Spirits Award, and we've got a bronze in the San Francisco Spirits Award. They had almost 1,000 gins which had participated, and amongst the 1,000 gins, our product got awarded, and we have recently also participate. We are participating in multiple other award shows also to get the recognition of the quality which we have made.
Mhm. So does this help in terms of, export or, recognition? Because this is a global recognition that we have got. Yeah.
Definitely, it helps in globally also, and it helps in domestic market as well.
Is it possible to tie up with some global firms to distribute our product like, we are doing it for Diageo here. Maybe Diageo can do our stuff in.
Mhm. So you rightly pointed out. So now there is huge opportunities of tie-ups like this. So just to name a few, that a company like Diageo, who's got its own gin, has tied up with Neo Spirits, who's making greater than gin. So
Okay.
they have their Tranquillities, they have all the top gins of the world, and they have taken a stake in a local company. So there can be opportunities, similar opportunities which you are mentioning. There can be opportunities. So it's not too far a day when something like this hits up.
Mhm. Ankit ji, lots of question for you on, working capital. So,
Yep.
I mean, what is the status now, and what is our plan to improve that working capital?
So see, if you see, we the working capital, recently has been increased majorly because of ethanol, and plus, increase in the business of Delhi. Otherwise, if you look at the MP, the in terms of debtors and all, it's hardly there. We get the money in 2 days. And plus, ethanol, we have a cycle of around 21 days in terms of data. So we expect this working capital level to be at the same level, because since we open up the other states, so there will be further deployment of working capital which will be required. So don't foresee too much reduction in that, but we'll try to maintain what it is at the current level.
Got it. And you did mention how the capex will be funded, but Dilip, I think, missed it. So maybe you can just.
So capex, we fund it through our own internal accruals, plus the money raised through the preferential allotment which we did in last, two tranches.
Okay. And Nishant is asking, are there any acquisition plans we have? Meaning, are there any brands or plants which are available?
So
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 there,
we
there are opportunities. We are looking for opportunities, but see, it depends on what you want to do. So once you reach a particular scale and you get the right price and right opportunity, then we can look in for acquisition. So we are open for such kind of deals, and we have
Mm,
recently participated also in few deals.
got it. So I think that's all questions we have right now. So Tusharji and Ankit, thank you so much. I think we just got,
Thank you.
oh, it's just thanks a lot. So it's thank you, Nishant. So, it was a very interesting session, and we are very much excited to hear the growth story that we are unfolding, the brands that we are building for the world. And by the way, our own, club is called Gin Club. It's called Go India Investors Club. So
Okay.
we are waiting
Nice.
for the launch in Maharashtra and Mumbai, especially to do gin
Soon.
testing at Gin Club. So
It'll definitely be available in Maharashtra soon. I think within a month's time.
very good. So we are looking forward to do that testing event for our Gin Club members. And
Definitely.
thank you so much. Priya is already excited to do that. So I'll just close the recording, and